Good afternoon. I am Lyndsay Wrensen and welcome to Home Matters. And today I have Vince Lamache with 214 Home Inspections with me today. Good to see you today, Vince.
You as well.
And
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. I know we've worked together in the past. You've done many inspections for me in the past, and you found all kinds of things. And I went through and reviewed all of that with my buyers, and just grateful to have partnered with you in the past and glad to have you on here today to talk about home inspections.
I'm glad to be here.
So you started this company recently, somewhat recently, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I've been in home inspections for the past 5 years now. And I went on my own 100% just earlier this year, back up in April.
Well, congratulations to you. And
Thank you.
I have to ask, 214, what is the symbolism? I'm sure you get that question a lot.
Oh, yes. Yeah, quite often. So I'm an Army veteran. And when you get out of the military, you're given a DD-214. And that is basically it's a summary of your military service. So there's a lot of talk in the veteran community about DD-214 or 214 or different like 214 alumni, that kind of stuff. So when I was looking for a name for this company, I wanted something that would stick out and really capture the attention of veterans if they saw it. I named it 214. And I get stopped quite a bit. I'll be standing in line like with this hat on or one of my other hats, and someone will say, "Is 214 stand for?" I'm like, "Yes, it does." It did school. So,
well, thank you for your service, and I love that, and congratulations on. Gosh, it's been almost a year now, right?
Yep, almost a year.
Yep. Part of my little pup in the background. He likes to come on car rides when we come to meet you to go over the results. And so today I just wanted to talk about some of the things that you typically see in home inspections. I know you primarily work Atlanta Metro.
Yes.
Are you seeing any current trends this time of year as opposed to typical inspections throughout the year?
So probably this time of the year, we're going through a season change. Mm-hmm. So seeing a lot of issues with heating units not functioning properly. So it's good to have your heating system and cooling system serviced like twice a year, like spring and fall.
Twice a year. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I will say I notice most people typically do it about one time a year. So this is good for people to know. So they should be having it serviced typically in spring and before winter.
Exactly. So they basically get service in the spring before it gets warm, and they get service in the fall before it gets colder. So you can make sure your heating and cooling are working properly in the given seasons. Like I just had a client call me from an inspection 2 months ago. And everything was working fine. Heating unit fired up. There was four different systems in this house, and in there was recommended to have a tune-up. And he called me and asking for a company that I could recommend for a tune-up before it gets too cold. So I was able to help him out.
Well, good deal. And hopefully right now it's pretty warm in Atlanta. By the time this airs, it'll be December, and I'm sure it'll be nice and cold. And of course, I'll be sending out, advisory warnings when the temperature drops. So while we're on that topic, what are some little things folks can do to help prepare, provided that it is a beautiful snowy afternoon right now, or it's coming in a week? And what can folks be doing? Obviously, I always tell people, open up the cabinet slightly, let the water drip if you think there might be just barely drip. Anything else you want to share you recommend?
So start preparing to winterize your house now. Don't wait for the last minute for one to actually, they're going to have a cold snap tomorrow, and I got to go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get hose bib covers.
Is that why they're always out?
That's why they're always out, because people wait till the last minute. There's a rush on them, and people take them all. And even some contractors will take them and stockpile them for when customers need them. So it's good to go now, get those for your house, what you need, so that way you have it before it gets cold. And if you have a pool, get prepared to winterize it, and all that.
Now, what are the Home Depot shopping lists? What should be on that list right now?
So definitely hose bib cover. Okay. Pipe insulation, if you have any uninsulated pipes sitting in a crawl space or in an attic area. See a lot of busted pipes in the winter.
And I get some calls on this as well. And I have seen it all as far as insulation. I'm sure you've seen quick fixes as well. Is there anything to stay away from that can cause additional problems you've seen? I know I've seen people use all sorts of materials to cover. So I'm just curious.
Yeah. Just use the proper materials. I've seen a lot where people try to wrap with towels, and it doesn't offer the same kind of insulation.
Does it help?
You got to use the pipe insulation. I always recommend the neoprene pipe insulation. It's almost like a rubberized foam. It's a much better insulator than this standard foam insulation.
And that, I'm sure, is a Lowe's, Home Depot, easy to find.
Yeah.
So while it's nice and warm, people should be thinking about that, because I know, I always just like milk and bread. That seems to be the first to go, and hose bib covers. So.
Yep.
Now, one thing I'm noticing, we're dealing with a lot of expireds this year, which is new. As far as I've been in real estate, I have never seen so many expired. So I'm hoping that will change, but that's the current market that we're in. And buyers do have a lot of choices right now. Obviously, with inventory, I think we're a little bit higher than we were pre-pandemic. So we're getting back there. So a lot more inventory, a lot more options.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm seeing multiple home inspections, some terminations. So sellers really do need to be prepared. And I would love to hear some of the, I see so many, issues with water intrusion, for example. It starts with the gutters, this, and then, if that's not taken care of, then water starts getting up to the thresholds. You can explain this way better than I can. But what are the top 3 to 5 things that people should be focused on that can turn into major issues, that they could be they're regular maintenance items that can turn into major issues? And some of those I'm seeing now. And a lot of these sellers they're having to, put their property on hold, bring it back to the market, deal with the inspection that came up after a termination. So I would love to hear some 3 to 5 points on the big ticket items, easy fixes that can turn into major projects that could be avoided.
So probably the number one thing is your rain gutters. I see a lot of times on inspections where they're separating from the house, or they're sagging, and you're not having proper drainage for your gutters.
I see that in almost every inspection, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite often. So you're going to have gutters overflowing, not flowing properly, and that water can spill down and collect against the foundation. Even just a little bit of water, as it collects slowly, will just build up pressure on the outside. And once it builds up too much pressure, it's going to make its way inside. Probably next will be also like extensions for downspouts.
Yep.
So that way you're getting your water away from the house like 3 to 5 feet. Just those little kick out like curb plastic pieces, they do an okay job of getting away like a couple feet, but you really want to have an extension on there to get the water plenty of distance away from the house. And then next thing is just the grading around your house. Look for low spots on the front of the house, mainly when you have a basement foundation or a crawl space that's typically higher than the back. You need to make sure your grading is sloped away from the house.
For sellers afraid to list right now, would you suggest they get a pre-inspection? I've had a few sellers do this, and I will tell you, it has made the process go easy peasy if they're willing to address these items.
Yeah, and that's the key part, if they're willing to address the items. And they want to know what we're going to find. Any inspector is going to find something on a pre-listing inspection.
Do you get a lot of calls for that? I'm just curious.
Not a lot, but it's really the homeowners that want to know what's wrong with their house, or what's going on with their house that may come up on a report, so they're not caught off guard. So what I offer is kind of different. It's almost like a 4-point inspection, and then plus a structural inspection. So this is really focusing on the big ticket items. It's not like a standard inspection where I'm going to go through and mark up like every single like cosmetic or minor details like that create like a punch list. These are going to be more the big ticket items that are going to be like red flags possibly on an inspection report.
Okay.
And yeah, it mainly focuses on like your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical, and the roof and the main structure of the house. Those are your big items.
The big ticket items that people care most about.
Yes.
That's great to know. That's very good to know. And of course, I'm guessing you do obviously the standard traditional inspections, which would be a long list of everything from a $2 fix to quite up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I love how detailed you are. What would you say are some quick fixes that when you walk into a property to do an inspection that you see sellers just tend to miss, that would make such a huge difference in the sale of their property? Is there anything that stands out to you?
A lot of it's on the outside of the house. So I see a lot of times with showings, you have like a 15-minute window to see that house.
Yep.
And you don't always get to see the full picture of the house.
Yep.
So it's good to go around the outside of the house. And what sellers miss a lot is when they're getting their house prepped, ready for inspection, is like rotted trim on the outside. That shows more like a deferred maintenance on the house, and issues with the deck. Like there's a lot of minor issues with decks that can be easily corrected by a qualified deck contractor.
Diagonal bracing being one of them.
I'm sorry?
Diagonal bracing being one of them I see quite often.
Oh yeah, diagonal bracing, baluster spacing on older decks, things like that. And then when you get on the inside, really like a lot of plumbing issues. Just check all the sinks, like put the drain stopper on, and fill that sink up, and then drain it to see if there's any leaks underneath. And that could come up quite a bit on inspections, especially for bathrooms that aren't used like on a larger home, like where the kids have moved out and they're selling their house to downsize. We see a lot of issues on those areas that haven't been used in a while.
What about condos? Ever run into interesting plumbing? This is just in the back of my head, something I dealt with the other day. Have you any recent condo plumbing issues where we're not sure which unit it's coming from? Do you run into that a lot?
I do. Probably the one I had recently was with a drain line inspection, where the neighboring units drained into one area, and right where they all met was a clog of just items that should not have been being flushed down a toilet.
Wow.
So, and it was causing the area to back up.
The entire community, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it can cause a whole. Yep. Yeah. Whoever's tying into that line, it can cause it to back up in that area to whichever unit is closer will be the first affected.
What's the worst case scenario that could happen if it continued to get more and more clogged and filled with debris?
There's a potential for it to back up into the house.
Ooh.
Yeah. So whatever the lowest fixture on that lower level, that's where the water would come out first.
That's something HOAs need to keep in mind then.
Yes, for sure.
Any property managers are listening to this recording. Now, go ahead.
So another thing with condos are the HOAs. So it's good to know what the HOA is responsible for and what the homeowner is responsible for. And because every HOA can be different. Some will say we'll cover the exterior and the roof. Some will do just the roof. Some will just do the exterior. Some will cover the windows. Some will cover the doors. It's good to know all of that before going into it, so you know what to expect from what's called out on the report.
And for those listening, just from a realtor point of view, if you are looking to purchase in an HOA, there's a series of documents, bylaws, and covenants that should explain in detail who owns what, who's responsible for what. And I've seen sometimes the outside of a door is handled by the HOA and the inside. So sometimes there's some, but these are things that during due diligence are very important for buyers to check out. And let's see, do you tend to notice certain issues more so downtown Atlanta versus suburban areas? I'm thinking like the sewage lines. I see a lot more towards Atlanta, some sewer issues. Anything you're seeing right now?
So when I get down there, I'm more inspecting older homes.
Okay.
Like from the 50s, 60s, even like 40s time frame. And for those, I do see some issues, like with the, especially when in crawl spaces. And I will come across like improper supports where we may have a squeaky floor or a low spot in the floor people try to correct, and they're using the wrong means to correct it.
What about renovated homes? I've seen a lot of that in lack of proper structural support with the renovation in some of these beautiful older homes. They've done a great job. It looks wonderful, but once you come in to look, it's not structurally sound.
Right. Yeah, they'll repair floor joists, and instead of replacing either the entire floor joist, they'll do an improper splice just on the area that was damaged. And at that point, you're not doing any good. You're just adding to the problem.
Yep, and I have seen that come up on a couple inspections recently too. A quick fix that actually leads to a worse issue. So unfortunately, it has to be remedied. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have to ask this. I was going to ask you what items you tend to see in older homes versus newer builds. But while we're on that topic, do you do new construction?
I do.
Inspection as well too? Okay.
Yes.
So you do pre-drywall, and I'm sure you can talk about the various types of inspections even with new construction, because we definitely suggest that, and I'll let you speak to that as well.
Yep. Yeah. So I am code certified by the International Code Council. And that's important with any inspector that's doing new construction, is to have that certification behind them. But I do pre-drywall and final inspections, and do quite a bit of those, and it's really important because the counties, municipalities, they do a good job on the surface, but they don't enforce every code that's out there. So what inspectors run across quite often is we build these reports with the code items on them, and then the builder comes back, well, this isn't Halton County code, or this isn't Halton County code, and there is no specific code for those counties. Georgia adopts the building code, and then these counties, municipalities are supposed to enforce it.
Now, who's the final say? This is just Georgia or the county?
Georgia. So there actually is a part in the code that the builder has to build to the codes that Georgia adopted, whether or not they're locally enforced.
And you've done quite a few new construction for me, and even sometimes I've had radon testing done as well, and had builders put on radon mitigation systems. So it's so important, even with new construction, to consider.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think a lot of people, unless they have an agent, may not know it is important to get a home inspection before purchasing, going, or closing on a new construction property, even if it's move-in ready and you haven't watched the entire process, maybe didn't have a pre-drywall inspection, but to get that final inspection, very important.
Oh yeah, and also just while we're on it, it's important to have your own agent when you're
Yeah.
doing new construction. Just don't rely on the on-site agent, and a lot of people do, but that on-site agent is
Yep.
working for the builder.
Yes,
And I
I've
know,
had that come up a lot too. So
yeah,
I appreciate you sharing this too. Just I'm sure there's folks listening who are looking at multiple new construction, uh, looking at various builders, and the sales agents do work for the builder. So
yes,
they can absolutely have a realtor work with them. In most cases, the builder handles the compensation as well. So it's just someone who can advocate
oh
for
yeah,
you, and obviously connect you with a wonderful home inspector to make sure you're good to go before the final sign off. Now,
exactly.
yeah. Now I have to ask this. I'm sure you have seen it all.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it all. Crawl spaces. I don't even. Oh goodness. All right. I'm going to tell you my little pre-Halloween story. I'm the girl who definitely, when I'm with clients, I don't mind peeking my head in a crawl space. You've seen me. I'm pretty
Oh
hands-on. I
yeah.
don't mind getting down, especially on inspection day. I'm wearing my boots and jeans.
Yeah.
And recently, I will say though that I opened a crawl space door, and one of my client said tarantula, and it definitely did. He was messing with me, and I'll have to send this video to him because he's going to get a good laugh out of this. But it was a wolf spider, and this sucker,
Oh yeah, they're big.
well, by the time I end up finishing telling the story, he was this big, but he was a big sucker. So I would love to know some of the craziest things, whether it's bug related or just very odd,
Yeah.
that you have. Feel free to share.
So probably creature wise, probably the oddest thing I came across was this one crawl space. There had to have been at least 1,000 frogs.
Frogs?
They're Yeah,
Huh.
they were just all through the entire Those little like small ones, and they were just throughout the entire crawl space. It was really weird. I've only seen it one time.
In Georgia? Huh.
Yeah, it was really weird, and that crawl space took a lot longer to inspect because I had to like scoot him out of the way, and then so I can get through it. I didn't want to squish any of them.
Oh.
But yeah, that was a first for that. A lot of the time you see what's called cave crickets. They look like they look like little alien crickets.
Okay.
And see
Are
those a
they
lot.
white?
They're like a grayish.
Okay, I've seen
Yeah,
some
yeah.
interesting pictures.
Yeah, you see those a lot when there's some humidity issues in crawl spaces. You'll see cave crickets.
Cave crickets and humidity issues. Okay, and they
Yeah.
look a bit gray.
Yeah. Seen some black widows, brown recluses.
Really? Was it a
Yeah.
vacant house? Do you remember?
Yeah. No, it wasn't vacant. There are people living there.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
probably had a really bad crawl, like not creature related, but had a real bad crawl space just about a month ago, where the entire band joist around the entire house was had significant termite damage, where the houses that I had actually dropped down a little bit, and the main center beam for the full house was also eaten away. And when a foundation contractor came out to give a quote on it, they were at like $110,000 for just repairing that.
Because it was basic foundation, the structure.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
so
wondering if I'm guessing the buyers backed out of that deal.
They did. Yeah. The sellers weren't even aware of it. That's the thing with crawl spaces. A lot of homeowners don't go in the crawl space. And even if that's the place where the air filter's at, which I don't like seeing, but they don't go down there. And a lot of like flip homes or renovation homes, you'll walk up to them, they look nice. You go through the whole house, it looks pretty nice. Then you get to the crawl space, and it was never touched. That's in the crawl space.
Wow.
An unhealthy crawl space can cause a lot of issues with a house.
I can only. And now, is there something that the seller could have done way before contemplating selling, other than getting a inspector to come look at the property? Would there have been any way to know, unless they were obviously feeling foundational issues?
Yeah, that's the thing. Just you got to keep up on routine maintenance of the house. There's stuff that you should be doing with the house every 6 months, every year, every 2 years, every five, what have you. And it's really keeping up on that maintenance schedule. And if you keep up on that, you'll be aware of what's going on with your house.
And that's one thing I think a lot of first-time home buyers don't realize after they close within the next
Yep.
2 to 3 months, there could be something that pops up because
Uh-huh.
a house does need maintenance and
Yep.
siding needs to be regular, caulked on, I'll let you tell how frequently. But bottom line, yeah, it comes with home ownership. Definitely you have to maintain the property and
Oh yeah, it does.
don't realize that at 1st.
Mm-hmm. And actually, for first-time home buyers, one thing with my company I like focusing on are first-time home buyers and also VA home buyers. But with first-time home buyers, it doesn't matter if it's a FHA loan or conventional loan or VA loan, whatever it is. But if they're a first-time home buyer, what I offer at no additional charge is after they close and move in, I will come back and do basically a home maintenance walkthrough with them. And just show them, hey, this is how you back flush your aerators off your sinks. This is how you drain and fill your water heater. This is how you change your air filters and where all your shutoffs are at. And this is the things that you should be doing on your siding, on your deck. These are things that you should be checking periodically. So then that way it's a jump start for them to keep their home healthy. And they can also take my report and use that as a punch list or honey-do list to get it back to square one.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so when do you recommend them do that walkthrough? Or
so what would be nice is like after they close, but before they start moving their belongings in.
Okay, because
then that way
while we're in due diligence, looking at that inspection report. A lot of times I'm reaching out if we can't find the water shutoff valve. I'm asking the seller if I'm on the buy side and, trying to keep record of everything so my clients have it handy for down the road. But a lot of times they're focused on the deal and it may, not all, they may need those reminders. So I think that's a complimentary service you say you do for first-time home?
Yes. Yep. For first-time home buyers. Yeah. So that way they just get on the right foot.
I love that. So what is one common misconception about inspectors or inspection companies that just kind of drives you nuts?
That we're there to kill the deal.
Oh.
And that's probably the biggest thing. And I've been called a deal killer several times. But it's not me. It's not me killing the deal. It's the house. I'm just coming across these items.
Detail oriented, and that's why I love working with you. I'd rather have a great inspector, so it's all transparent.
Oh, yeah.
It all. And then we can make a decision on, okay, is this going to be worth it if the seller agrees? And
Yeah, and one way I've taken also my reports with 214 home inspections is I've worded my comments and informational comments or defect comments to be more educational than alarming. So then that way, when you see something written up on the report, it gives you a better description of it rather than just saying, "Hey, there's a cracked beam right here." It gives you a more detailed description of it, and then that way it's a softer hit, I guess you can say, when you're reading it.
Like a solution, or hey, this is this could lead to this, which we're bottom line, your inspections, when I read them, it's very clear to me that, okay, this is the situation, this is what it could cause, and this is potentially how to remedy it, or to involve a contractor who is the expert who can come in and give additional advice before making a decision.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I'm so thankful for you jumping on today, and I definitely want to get your information out there. So I'm guessing you are available Monday through Friday. Do you work weekends, or how can people find you?
Yeah, so Monday through Friday, I'm available. Saturday or Sunday, if I don't have anything planned and it's needed, like we have a short due diligence and we need it right now, I will accommodate however I can. But yeah, I have an online scheduler at 214homeinspections.com. where you can go in there and schedule the home inspection, or you can reach out to me at my phone number is on the website also, and you can just reach out to me and I can help you out with scheduling.
Wonderful. Well, I so thank you for your time today, Vince, and I look forward to having you as our next inspector for my next buy side or sellers.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, definitely reach out to Vince. And Vince, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me and happy holidays.
Thank you.